Let's do this.
Hello, sports fans and baseball fans out there. It's me, Sportsman Z, with my man, Kris Dufour, for the second time this week. You will remember that we did our football picks. And,
well, you might not. Not a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, that's true. Not a lot of people watch. Hopefully more people will watch this video than watch my picks videos.
If not, our pleas will go unheard.
But today, we are going to talk about, for the second time on this channel, we are going to talk about the case for Dwight Dewey Evans of the Boston Red Sox getting into the Hall of Fame.
We did this almost exactly 6 years ago. It's hard to believe it was 6 years ago already. And he hasn't been on the ballot since. Now, he's not technically even on the ballot. They have to whittle down the current ballot to a number like 10 guys. I think there's numerous guys this year, legends like Bonds, Clemens, Schilling, Mattingly, Murphy, Whitaker. There's just, it is chock full of the list for the Modern Era Committee, which is the modern day Veterans Committee, of course. And they're going to announce in November just who makes the, or they're going to announce soon who makes the 10-person window, and then of course they'll announce in November who actually makes the Hall of Fame. But
now I will put in the end card, I will put the link to the previous video that we did where we discussed the case for him, but just to refresh people's memories and try to get him back out there, get his name back out in circulation, we will talk about it again.
It's just Bob doing me a favor. I grew up as a Dwight Evans fan. I can't believe he's not in the Hall of Fame. Honestly, it seems and you hear all these things all the time about, if you just looked at him as a hitter, maybe he'd get in, maybe he wouldn't. But if you just looked at him as a fielder, maybe he'd get in, maybe he wouldn't. But, the fact that the man he was 29th all time in home runs when he retired, which is crazy to think that was 35 years ago and he only had 385 home runs. I say only because after that, of course, came the steroid era and all the eras with, obviously large home run totals, and 500 is the new number, and it was 400 back then, but he fell a little short of that. But his qualifications, when we're about to go over them, are
370 on base, lifetime on base percentage.
That's right, 370 lifetime on base, 840 lifetime OPS from an era that didn't have OPS is that high. In the 80s, obviously, he was a dominant figure. A lot of times the writers used to talk about how, hey, we're going to vote you in. You needed to be dominant for a decade, for an era, right? Well, in the 80s, when Dwight Evans was really cooking at the plate, he had more extra base hits, 605, than anyone else in Major League Baseball. 605 over a 10-year period. Nobody else came close. He was second in walks at that time period. He was third in runs, fourth in home runs, and sixth in on base, which was 385. So, it's just a dominant decade for him. Of course, he was one of the home run leaders in 1981, the strike season. I think 4 guys in the AL tied with 22 each, and just a dominant clutch player. Not to mention, the guy finished his career with 8 Gold Gloves in right field, playing one of the toughest right fields. I think anyone that watches baseball can understand that Fenway Park's one of the toughest right fields you have. So, I just sometimes I just can't even fathom how he didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Although, there are many people, Kenny Lofton, Lance Berkman, there are other people like that also just got kind of pushed aside somehow.
He was an incredible fielder, had a rifle arm.
Yeah, led the American League in assists 3 times, and people stopped running on him. He was a huge clutch performer in the postseason, the 2 postseasons he played in. I think a lot of people will remember Game 3 of the '75 World Series in the top of the 9th. He had a game-tying home run that led to the Armbrister bunt, I believe. Might be getting my games confused, but one of the games in Cincinnati, it was game 3 or 4. He tied that game in the top of the ninth with a game-tying home run. He in '86 he had numerous big hits for the Red Sox in the World Series. One being that 2-run homer off Good in game 2 that led the Red Sox to a 9-3 win. He hit it off the tent out in the left field stands. Then in the game 7, which they ended up losing 8-5, they were down 6-3, and he hit a 2-run double to make it 6-5, and was on second base with the tying run. I think that was in the 8th inning. So just a huge clutch performer at the plate. Another thing, if you want to talk modern stats like WAR, OPS plus, he is the first right fielder of all the great right fielders in WAR not to be in the Hall of Fame. 67.2 WAR for his career. And if you look at all the people above him, they're all in Hall of Fame. The more amazing stat is there are 16 Hall of Fame right fielders with less WAR than Dwight Evans. 16, including Parker and Baines and Ichiro and Winfield, all great players. So I do struggle to understand why he's not in there. And this time, it's going to be difficult for him, obviously, because the ballot is so crowded.
And he's getting on in years.
Well,
so.
I mean, he's in his 70s now, obviously. So, I mean, but I mean, I hate to see it. Like Parker died, he knew he got into the Hall of Fame, but then he died before the enshrinement. And, I just think this is Dewey's time, and I think people need to recognize how great it was. We were looking at some stats earlier today, and OPS plus, which is a big barometer for modern day writers and historians of baseball. He played 20 seasons, 12 of those he had an OPS plus higher than 120 or higher, which is an excellent season.
And just to clear it up, a 1 would be league average.
Right.
Yeah.
A 1. So like 1.04 would be slightly above league average.
Mm-hmm. And he was 1.2, 1.22.
Yeah, 12 times out of 20 years, which is incredible. Another, obviously period of dominance for him. So we're trying to make, people aware of, I don't know, maybe somebody out there. And these Hall of Fame videos are so fun, and they're always muddled because everyone has their favorite. There's no denying Dwight Evans is my favorite. He's been my favorite for a long time.
No doubt there's people out there have a favorite player from the 80s or the whatever.
Yeah, 90s now. Yeah.
That was a favorite player of theirs that they think belongs in and was a snub.
Yeah, I got a guy I know, Don Mattingly's his hero, and he thinks Don Mattingly should get in. And listen, I get it. Lou Whitaker should be in, sure. Lou Whitaker did nothing but be great for 19 years. But I still think of all the guys we're talking about, except for Bonds, right, and maybe Clemens, those two guys are kind of in a separate place where they were probably Hall of Famers before they cheated, if you believe they cheated. But I just think it's Dewey's time. You need 75% of the committee. I think there's 16 guys on the committee, so you need 12 votes. And he came up short the year we did this 6 years ago. I think he came up short by 2 votes. So it's tough, but I just feel like 8 Gold Gloves with his offensive statistics puts him over the top for me. So we wanted to talk about that and see what you think. And I know we'll get a lot of comments about, well, this guy should be in there first or this guy, but for us, it's Dwight Evans. Or at least for me, it's Dwight Evans. Like I said, Bob, I kind of dragged into that party, but he's a believer now, right?
Yeah, that Dwight Evans belongs, sure. Yeah,
absolutely. So, I don't know. That's it. That's about what we got, right?
Okay, yeah.
You got anything else to say about Dwight Evans?
No, you're the authority on it. You would know much more about Dwight Evans than I would.
Well, I would, yeah. Let's not call me an authority.
Well,
but
all right.
Love Dwight Evans. Read his book. He came out with a great book last year, a great biography on Eric Sherman and him wrote a book together. fantastic read.
And you actually met Dwight Evans.
I did. I met him last summer. He signed my book for me on my birthday, so it was a highlight of my birthday that year. Yeah, it was nice. Anyway,
all right,
close it.
That is going to be it for me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zuhlke with Kris Dufour, and we're signing.
We're rooting for you, Dwight. Peace.